Boom, 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 ba-doom. Bum, 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 ba-da-bum, bum, 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 ba-doom. Dance your cares away. Wah, wah. Worries for another day. Let the Fraggles play. Waiting for day to descend. One of the three is online Facebook. I don't care, so it's fine. Too many syllables in that. All right. Um, two green dots is enough. I'll assume the other one works fine. And I hate everybody on Facebook anyway, so what do I care? Not at all. Not at all. I don't care at all. Space Goonie and the Fraggle Rock. Space Goonie and a stream talk. Pat Prue is all yo yo and one more times. What? That math doesn't work out. Ripley, press a button. Hey, here we go again. Usually he chimes in by now. Oh, yeah. No, I was trying to think of that thong that I wanted to thing, but I just can't remember that thong I was going to thing. Something about dinosaurs. There was like a dinosaur. I don't like the everybody walk the. It's not the everybody walk the dinosaur thong. That is the worst song in the history of songs, and I will never, ever, ever sing it out loud. And when it shows up in movie soundtracks, oh my god, it makes me hate that whole movie completely, and it makes me freeze a little still. Hey, is anybody watching this? I'm freezing again still. Oh, best song in the world though. The best song in the world is of course Denver the Last Dinosaur theme song. I mean, we've been over this and over this. Uh He's your friend and a whole lot more. He's Denver, the Last Dinosaur. Best. But man, oh man. I'm pretty sure in the Mario Brothers movie, yeah, that Walk the Dinosaur song is in that movie. Then again, that movie is just a mess from beginning to end. And I didn't think of an idea for a comic strip yet today. Alright, so might as well get started then. Let's get this party started in here. It's getting started in here. Hey, remember that? Remember when we were getting things started in here? That's not what that song was about. No, I'm pretty sure. I have a radio and I listened to the radio. And they were like, hey, stop being frozen and get it started in here. That's. The radios are confusing and weird. Ripley, intro. And a little laser shark spins by. Meow. Beep boop bop 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 beep boop bop bop beep boop bop. 'Cause I don't mind worry following me like a dinosaur. I don't fear I am dig into the molten core. So far, I have not found the science. I don't remember the rest. I don't mind worries following me like a dinosaur. I don't fear I am descending into the molten core. 'Cause so far, I have not found the science. Oh, but the numbers keep on circling me. Yeah, gonna give you most of mine. Gonna give you half of my sandwich. That's the remix version. Anyway, lots of weird stuff to talk about today. Let's go to my brush. Let's go to blue. Classic animator styles. Gonna rough something out in blue, and hopefully by the time I finish roughing out this panel, I'll think of what to put into the other panels. Maybe even some words. But sometimes you can't think of anything. But I made an effort. I at the end of the workday was like, hey, I know what'll get some ideas flowing. I'll do a walk around several of the blocks. Maybe it's like a 15, maybe 20-minute walk. Nothing that substantial. Just a little walk. Get the blood flowing, and then ideas just come. Or the other thing that happens, Pat, and everybody else, is weird stuff. Weird stuff just happens. Why? Cause I went outside. Does it still happen when I stay inside? Yes, it does. But I left. Oh, so I don't even get to see the weird stuff because it happens outside, and I'm trapped for eternity inside of whatever apartment you live in, and that's just what I have to deal with. I have to order my hats from Amazon, and then hope that they fit real well, and then also hope that I don't keep freezing all the time. Why do I keep freezing all the time? Infuriating. Yeah, I don't know. Again, it's not a bad story. It's just weird. It's just weird. It's a tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme, beauty and beasts. That's right. Oh, you're the beauty in that scenario? Okay, no, that's fine. That's totally fine. Meow, 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 meow. Don't agree with him, Ripley. Don't agree with him. He does not need his delusions of grandeur undelusionized. Somebody needs to speak some, just straight up real talk to this guy. You are not the beauty. It's the beast and the beast. Hey, guys, we're all beauties. Our bodies are wonderlands. Just listen to the music. Listen to the, flowing down the river, chasing waterfalls. Guys, it's all cool. All right, everybody calm down. Calm down. Pat is speculating too hard over here for something that virtually didn't even really happen. But went for a walk around the block. I'm going to say, I don't know, 50 feet away from me on the other side of the road, two dudes are just talking. One guy's wearing a cowboy hat. I don't know why. People just wear cowboy hats. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that still. Whatever hat you want to wear that hat. Go for it. Don't care. You want to carry around a parrot all the time? Do it. Awesome. You shouldn't, because parrots should, live in the rainforest or wherever and be able to fly and not have their wings clipped and be strapped to your shoulder all the time. But if your affectation is something that makes you happy, then go with it, as long as your affectation is not, I'm Stabby Stabberson, so I stabbed him. What? That's my thing that I do. I'm Stabby. It's cool. It's how people know me. There's the guy that stabs people. Not that one. But anything else. Hawaiian shirt guy, go nuts. Kevin Smith has been wearing jean shorts and jerseys for like 15 years now. It's never looked good, and I don't hate him for it. All right? Happy for him. Again, just like my old Tony Hawk thing, in the old podcast, we used to just have a fun little fight where I'm still not sure if Tara was serious or not. Pretty sure she was, where she just hates Tony Hawk to the very core. Because what does he do? He's just a skateboarder. Hey, it was like, that's the dream. To make your thing that you're into, your thing that makes you who you are. Like, now he is the Tony Hawk. So anyway, all that aside, two dudes are sitting there. They're dressed however they're dressed. It still doesn't seem crazy and out of the ordinary to me. And a car. It's always a car. The car comes from the opposing direction. And I can plainly see that out of the passenger side seat. A scrub is a guy who thinks he's fly, also known as a buster. So he hangs out the side of his best friend's ride, I assume, hollering at these other guys. But first, middle finger raised in the air, as if he didn't even have enough middle fingers to reference more songs. And oh, Pat. Didn't Tony Hawk play skateboard at the Olympics? Did he win a gold in ollies? Or did he win a bronze in kickflips? No, I think mostly X Games. He was like an X Games hero / just, I'm just skateboarding all day, every day. Come on, get on board. Buy my helmet. And my bicycle helmet happens to be a Tony Hawk helmet. Anyway, Not because it's a Tony Hawk helmet. It's just purely a happenstance of this is the one that I got at home. Oh, turns out it's a Tony Hawk helmet. Either way, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I've roughed out about 3 circles and deleted them. Eventually, I'll leave something on the page. So, middle finger goes up. He's giving the finger to these 2 dudes. The scrub screams out the side of the car, "Fuck you!" Except a little more enunciated on the F part. So what did you do? Did you just watch and all go down and then pull out your phone and make a note of it? Or did you do something equally as dumb and unnecessary? Oh, you know me. I did pull out my phone to make a note, but first, I decided it was my responsibility to throw my middle finger in the air. Trying to think what's that song, but that's throw your fist in the air in the face of adversity. No, killing in the name of did it. Anyway, so I decided to give the people in this car a solid gold middle finger myself. You know, fully aimed it directly at them, followed them with laser sight accuracy as they drove by, cause I don't know, sometimes I don't care anymore. Oh my god. Alright, so Pat is right. As of right now, Tony Hawk is hawking up the Olympics. He's like 50 now, so I can't see him actually competing though, but maybe. I don't know. I don't know how anything works. He was in an Avril Lavigne Vine. Oh my god. Hey grandpa, remember Vines? Shut up. In a TikTok, I guess, or something, but it was up on Instagram, and it's just like she's like singing Skater Boy on a half pipe, and then this skater boy, this 50-year-old skater boy, is all like, "Hey, it's me, Tony Hawk," and he's like just doing some Tony Hawking, and people are like, "When is this video from?" Because Avril Lavigne still looks 15, but Tony Hawk looks 55. Is this a special effect? What am I watching? And people are like, no, like this was just posted and just taken right now. Tony Hawk and Avril Lavigne are hanging out right today, whenever this was, probably a month ago now. Anyway, so yeah, those guys drove by. I gave them a solid middle finger to their car faces as they drive by, and the driver, I could fairly clearly see his face. It seemed to me, from my purview, that he was old. Like, he looked older than Tony Hawk. Like, he seemed like a gray-haired old man. I was just like, are you just too old? I couldn't make out the passenger. I'm just like, are you two old men driving around like teenagers yelling at people? This is insane and unacceptable on so many levels. And I feel even better about activating my own middle finger and engaging a little bit of hatred towards these people. But the driver looked at me. He looked at me. The driver looked at you? Oh my god, like when the teachers looked at Ralph Wiggum? No. He looked at me with pure surprise and confusion, like fully just the old, just like why would you be giving us a middle finger all of a sudden? Like, you know what you're actively, at this very moment, you're yelling F you and giving the finger to 2 random guys that are having a conversation. So, it shouldn't be that crazy and confusing that some other random person is just gonna do it to you. And if I had powers and druthers, what are druthers? I don't know. But if I had both of those things, depending on what the powers were, I would definitely do something super insane. Like magneto powers, your car is going up in the air, it's flipping over, and I'm going to look at you through your windshield while you're upside down, and I'm just going to be like, this is pretty crazy. What? Then gently put your car down and disappear through the bushes. Because I don't have a costume, and people in this town seem to recognize me when I go to places now. So, past the point of no return. But yeah, doing my best to like gently, slightly try and hurt somebody's feelings, because I can see them do it to somebody else. And hopefully I don't forget this, but I think I have somewhat of an idea what today's comic strip is about. Oddly enough, probably mostly the words that I just said 5 seconds ago, because that's where ideas really come from, what you're doing in the moment. The other weird thing that I saw, snitches get stitches, so watch your mouth. Keep it stitched up, or you'll get the gout, 'cause we'll chop you up and leave you in. That got real dark real fast. Um, the other weirdish thing, also just as always playing the good old fashioned game of how many of my notes can I remember without looking at my notes. I made all of them on that 15-minute walk, just trying to remember the other things that I saw and heard in the last 7 days. But I'm also kind of like, how did 7 days pass? How is it August? When was July? When did that happen? Slash, oh, the summer's just 2 weeks long this year. We're starting fall now. Fall just starts now at the beginning of August. All right, cool. Yeah, no, climate change is totally fine. Nothing weird's going on. Everything's super cool. It's just super cold today, and it's the beginning of August. This used to be prime beach time. Merry Christmas, CTK, and a Happy New Year. So the other weird thing was, I was going to say walking. I was driving. I was in my car. I managed to go to the beach finally. Never do that. That was pretty summery. You can go for as many like crazy, just adventure-y summertime walks. But yep, already seems cold. Go to a store. All the school supplies are already out, and ever since I was a kid, that was the death knell of the end of summer. Was seeing school supplies come out. Um, yeah, I was driving down the street, and it was already, I guess, a somewhat slow street anyway. But there was this pigeon just crossing the road. This is why today's stream or whatever it's called. Why did the pigeon cross the road? Because why? Why did the pigeon cross the road? I don't know. Why did the pigeon cross the road? I'm dying. Tell me. What's the answer? I don't know. I don't know. I'm designing a shirt for that, Laser Sharks. Give me a few more days, and I'll have a shirt specifically for staying in and being sad. Um, the I it's not even that weird. It's not that crazy. It's just driving down the street just the other day. And this pigeon was just very slowly crossing the street, like on foot. There was lots of cars, like there was wind, there was, I'm sure, just garbage blowing through the air. Nothing, you know, and, you know, today I was walking behind a bunch of pigeons as well, and they were just walking, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. I'm going to take a video of these pigeons walking because maybe they'll be like that other pigeon and they just won't take off. And this will be a fun little, maybe I can grab a song from like the Reservoir Dogs soundtrack while these pigeons walk down the street in a little group, make a little reel of that, and that'll be a good time. But as is the custom with pigeons, they flew away. If you get even remotely close, they fly away. You pull out a camera, they fly away. You're in a car, they fly away. Oh, but yeah, I forgot about the good feathers. Good reference, good stuff. But yeah, there was 3 of them, very good feathersy. But this other pigeon was just like, to do, and I'm like, I'm stopped. I hope nobody rear ends me because nobody can see why I'm stopped. / a lot of times when you do stop, somebody will just be like, this guy stopped for no reason. Let me just whip around and then most likely hit whatever old lady or small child or animal that I'm stopping for because people are garbage. But yeah, he went from like the full one side to the other, which is like, all right, I'm still waiting, I'm still waiting. The other cars stopped to let him pass. I'm like, how is anybody even noticing this pigeon? And, I'm just surprised that anybody else is stopping besides me, because, people don't stop for pigeons. But he just took forever. Like, just took his good old time, like, looking around, just chilling all the way across the road. And I was just, I don't even know the word, impressed? I guess I was impressed with it. Like, you've just taken control of this whole street. And I mean, I'm a person and people are supposed to stop for me. And I still, half the time, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to cross right now. That old man definitely isn't going to stop. And he thinks that it is his prerogative to own this road. And, I've met enough of those people. And, sometimes you can just tell by the speed at which they're approaching an intersection that, oh, they don't care that there's a crosswalk. Or they're one of these people that just aren't aware of anything that isn't directly in front of them. I still do also have a terrible, terrible urge to when I see people like really entrenched in their phones while they're driving, that I really very much want to just jump out in front of their cars. Hopefully they will stop in time, but I just want to do a ah, and then just walk away after that. When they're just like, "What's going on?" Like, just making you pay attention because I don't know. I was raised in that kind of world where it was like, "Hey, punch." Oh, you got to be ready for stuff like that. I shouldn't have to be though. Yeah, but you do. But you're my family and or friend, so can't you just tell me with words? No, like old movie styles. I'm gonna attack you until you're ready. The old 300 guys taking their kids and putting them up on a mountain or in a cave with a giant wolf. Here you go, fight this wolf or die. Up to you. Up to you. Do your best. Do your best. We're family. But yeah. Yeah, I've rarely seen like ducks. Ducks, of course. They'll walk across the street. That's their thing. We all know that. But yeah, crows and pigeons, like, no. I mean, there's the old Todd Glass comedy bit where he talks about like just he's like, oh, I was just like driving around with my friends or whatever, and I just find it weird. Is like when you go to like just like a shitty neighborhood. You're just in a real shitty neighborhood, and there's a bird there, and I'm just like, you can go anywhere, you can fly, you can be in any other neighborhood, but this one, like, what? Why would you be in this shitty neighborhood? And I haven't heard it in a long time, so I don't remember the clever way to deliver it. But basically, just that, like, why do birds hang out in places that suck if they can literally hover above it all? But that's bird nose. Bird nose? Bird nose. This is bird nose. This has been bird news for this week. I don't think I have any other things about birds to talk about, but who knows? Usually when I say I have nothing else to say about that, I will flashback to 37 stories that involve birds for some reason. What about that time you were like chased by a bird? All right, fine. So one time I had this job where it was just kind of like random stuff. Go here, mow this lawn. Go here, paint this little bridge in this park. Here's a pile of logs. Cut them down and dispose of them. Find all of the garbage and pick it up, etc. So I was at this little waterside park thing. Long time ago, and it was my job to just clean up this area, find all the garbage, mow it, deal with some of these other things, and yeah, paint these benches and whatever. Like, okay, so I was there like over the course of a few days or weeks or whatever it was, doing random stuff, and they'd send me other places. So it was like river or whatever you want to call it, leading out to the sea over here, and like a little stream that went down through the middle of the park and another one through the side. So I'm making my way down, just cleaning stuff up, no big deal. And finally get to the edge where this little tiny stream is. And as I peer over the edge, I can see like, I don't know, a handful of little baby ducks. Like, oh wow, a bunch of little baby ducks. Adorable. What a treat after picking up garbage and raking and just doing yard work for random people all day. And I don't know, 5 seconds into thinking that thought, over the ridge to the right of where I wasn't looking was like just a duck. I don't even remember what kind. Like I want to say it was a goose. I felt like it was just huge and just wingspanny. But if it was it was a small goose or a huge duck. But it was just wingspan. It was just, seemed like 75 feet of wingspan, but all of a sudden it was just like over this little tiny ledge, and it was up on the same plane of land with me, and I'm like, oh, okay. Never thought about fighting a duck before. Don't want to fight a duck. Seems like some real bad karma to like kick a duck. So I guess I'll run. Guess I'll just run. So I turned around and just started running as fast as I could. While cars drove by, nobody stopped or whatever. Why would they? It's definitely probably a hilarious thing to see while you're driving by. And yeah, I just ran across this field as fast as I could. Looked back like once, and it's still just like it's kind of half running, half flapping towards me. Yeah, it was definitely a goose because it was like honking at me or whatever, and I'm just like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And this is long before I know that geese have like crazy shark teeth and weird sharp tongues with like spikes on them and stuff. They're just insane. They're just insane. But still, in my head, I'm just like, do I just run forever? Do I just run to the church and bang on the door like, sanctuary, please? I was the guy out there mowing the lawn and stuff. Please take me in and save me from this goose because I looked at its babies and I don't know. I'm in its little area, so it has the right of way as far as I'm concerned. I have no right to give this goose the finger. So yeah, I gotta run. But within this running, I'm just like, it can fly, it can follow me anywhere. Do I have to stop and turn around and stand my ground against some kind of waterfowl who's just worried about its little babies? And I turned around and I was like, "Oh God, oh no, what am I doing? What are we doing?" And by that point, it did stop, but it was still kind of looking back as it walked back over because it was like, "Oh, I'm pretty far from my kids now. I better deal with the thing that I'm actually trying to protect." And and yeah, I was like literally shaking for hours and like telling like, can I go home now? Like I was chased by a bird and I feel weird about it and I want to go home. I just want to go home. Like, you want to what now? Because a bird chased you? Yeah, it was real menacing though. But it was real menacing and scary. Now, of course, I'm just in a park by myself, so I can't actually have this conversation with anybody. And it's 75 years ago, so there is no such thing as a cell phone. And it's in Cape Breton, so there's no such thing as payphones either. And I didn't have money, a quarter. I just had my bicycle and spend the day worrying about how I'm going to get this lawnmower and gear back to the guy who dropped it off, and I know is not going to come and get me. And that's your early bird story? I mean, as I say it, weird instances of bird stories are floating in my head. But no, that's it. I'm gonna look at my other notes and I'm gonna see. Um, there are some good stuff I just can't handle wrong one. TikTok anymore, but when somebody reposts them on a reel or sends it specifically, yeah, animal justice is the greatest. It's just the greatest. Like that video where I forget what it was, where it was like, was it a kangaroo is like attacking some guy's dog, and the guy goes over and like punches the kangaroo or whatever that animal was, and I'm just like, no offense, I still kind of wish, you gotta save your dog or whatever, but I really still wish that that kangaroo or alligator or whatever it was still got a good punch in or a bite out of that person because, they're both just animals and you, we all deserve to get punched by an animal at some point. It's just a fact. We're never good enough to animals. Um, I guess we can swing into car news. Speaking of throwing middle fingers out the window, I think I brought this up I know that a long time ago I saw this car and I never took a picture of it. I saw it again and I didn't take a picture of it. And then this time I saw the people driving it and I didn't take a picture of it. There's stickers all over this car. Just lots of stickers. SUV, real new, really just ruined, aesthetically ruined by some terrible stickers. And one of the stickers on it, which I believe we discussed, was uh, um, oh, Army Hammer. I forgot all about that guy eating people or wanting to eat people or whatever it was. People are crazy. People are crazy. Okay, yes, it was the juxtaposition, which is a word I love and I haven't used in a while. The juxtaposition between these two specific stickers on there were still other ones, but these two really told a story of the lady driving. I don't even know. There was a dude in the car, but I assume it was definitely some sort of teamwork in the stickering of this car. So, real big sticker. I'm going to say the back that said, in loving memory of my dad. And there was like a silhouette image of like, I don't know, somebody hunting or fishing with like their dog or something. And, you know, the dates of, you know, born and died and, you know, something else that people write on epitaphy type things, you know, except on a sticker on the back of your SUV. You know, like your dad would have always wanted. Like, my dad was an actual mechanic, and I think the last thing he would have ever wanted was for me to put a sticker on the back of my car that was like, hey, check it out. Hey, guys, do you want to know when my dad was born and died? I put it in sticker form in the back window of my car. Huh? Next to my Batman sticker. Thought he'd love that. So, they got that sticker on there, and fine. That's your way. Go for it. Go for it. Whatever gets you through sad times, go for it. I got nothing against that. It's everything is awesome. Everything's cool. Part of a team, etc. But the other sticker, the other big sticker, not too far away from the hey Dad, miss you, love you. Sad that you're dead. Happens. But also, if you want to know a little something about me, guys, I think the audio is peaking too high on this. I think I nudged my mixer before and didn't fix it. The other sticker says, I support single moms. And it has a silhouette of like a stripper pole and a lady stripping. I don't have a tirade about that. That's fine. You can support strippers. You don't have to say that they're all single moms. You don't have to say that all single moms have to resort to stripping. But mostly, yeah. Are you proud, Dad? Dad, are you proud now? Are you proud? I got a nice SUV and I spent $65 on stickers so people know what I'm all about. And then, on today's walk, between seeing three pigeons that I couldn't get a video of all walking together, between some random dudes throwing out some middle fingers at some other random dudes, between two ferns, there was another SUV that drove by. And at first I was like, is this some sort of racing vehicle or Jeep or something like that? Like, what's going on here? Like, am I missing something? Because I did also see some other weird looking old timey car. I'm like, all right, there's a lot of people that love their old timey cars and hanging out in parking lots and looking at each other's cars. And, you know, whatever you do, that's fine. Again, as long as you're not hanging out in parking lots, pulling knives on each other and playing stabby fun time games, then it's fine. It's fine. Waste all of your time on dumb old timey cars. I waste a lot of my time on dumb old timey action figures, new action figures, drawing dumb pictures of cats, and Instagramming. So, you know, that's fine. Everybody has their thing. Everybody has their hobby. Dinosaurs, etc. So, exactly, laser sharks. But how much misogyny do you need to paint across your vehicles and or homes or your body? So this other one drives by, big 69 on the door. Like, this Jeep is number 69. Like, all right, that's fine, still fine. Nothing too abrasive about that. We all know what it means, but it's still just a number. And next to it, hopefully I wrote it down because I definitely forgot what it was. Oh yes. Next to on the next door was a big, big sticker of the Shocker. Oh, frozen, frozen. Okay. By the Shocker, you of course mean the super stupendous Spider-Man villain that everybody loves, the Shocker, who shoots some sort of energy beams out of his hands. But he doesn't have powers. Those are stuff that he's bought from other people. Like in most of the Spider-Man bad guys don't actually have powers. There's that one issue, remember, where that everybody's like going to the guy who makes their costumes, and then Spider-Man's like, "Oh, what's the deal? Like, this isn't cool. You're making stuff for good guys and bad guys." And that guy's like, "Hey, I'm an equal opportunity magic suit making scientist guy. That's what I do." Anyway, the Shocker, best character of the world. Worst, dumbest character. Don't know why he keeps getting used. He was in the cartoon a bunch. He's dumb. He's stupid. You've got Electro. Use Electro. Why ever bother with Shocker? Why? He's the dumbest. Anyway, it's not what we're. Don't sidetrack me and make me talk about Spider-Man. No, but remember in Spider-Man when he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna flip over here," and then the spider says, "Shh, shh, shh, shh." The Shocker that I am, of course, referring to is the classic Dane Cook. This is my logo for some reason. Shocker symbol, like a drawing, a illustration, a logo of a hand doing the old this. There we go. You know, two in a pink place and one in a stink place, as the rhyme goes. And and again, that one went by. There was still like another 10 stickers on the back that even at a glance, none of them looked wholesome at all. Not that everything needs to be wholesome. It's fine. Who really cares? But just the fact that it is just like, I don't know. On that other one, it was like, this is a brand new nice SUV. Like this is like $40,000 worth of your life that you're putting pretty dumb stickers on. The other one did look like, yeah, this is the kind of Jeep that you just throw whatever stickers on. Like, you don't care what happens to this. But there is just that thing where it's like, I don't know, I think about this all the time where as as adults become more serious adults, um, they usually, or we used to be like, all right, time to put away childish things and start acting like one of these people instead of, being fun and continuing to like the things that you like. It's time to just pretend you don't and become some weird, dumb, serious old person. So I don't want to be that guy that's like, don't enjoy your stickers anymore. But I do also think that a bunch of stickers on a car almost always looks stupid. uh, Oh yeah. We do scroll up. All right. Awapo's best car sticker. It was on the back of a giant wing on a shitty little car, and it said "Wolf of Wall Street," but the second W was crossed out, and they added an S at the end. Outstanding. Wolf of all streets. That is pretty great. That is pretty great. It's pretty rare to see awesome car stickers. Like I still do. There every once in a while I'll see one that is great, and I'll usually Instagram it or at least Instagram story it. Because great stickers are still just great stickers. Clever is clever, but cliche is still just cliche. I'm sorry. Are you talking about cliches while you're drawing an orange cat comic? Just say it. Just say it. Isn't it ironic, don't you think? It's like 10,000 spoons, and you're like, hey, I'm just going to draw a comic strip about spoons. I didn't say I wasn't derivative. I just say that sometimes I don't derivative hard enough, or I should be more derivative. But being less derivative is just not an option. Whenever I do something that I think is super underivative, people are like, hey, one view. See you never, baby. I don't recognize any of these characters or ideas from movies that I've already seen. Seriously, one of these days, I'm going to replace him with Merman. I promise. I want to keep that voice, but, what if I do a dueling Merman with a Krang in his stomach, and then he's got two separate cameras where we cut back and forth? Merkrang? Krangman? Merkin? Merkin. We'll call him Merkin. Merkin the Sea Krang? I should write that down because I'll never ever do it. I also saw a bunch of deer on my short walk. Just chilling out. There's a little baby deer that's like just down the street with its mom, foraging for just grass, just eating people's lawns, and that's pretty fun. When there's a lineup of like 12 cars waiting for a baby deer to cross the road. Something about that I think is fantastic. All right, one more real life thing, and then I'm gonna take a big stinky dump on a movie. Did I watch it? Probably not. You almost never watch any of the movies. You're just like, oh, this movie seems problematic and dumb. Let me make fun of it without even seeing it, and then someday maybe I will watch it, and then I'll have too much to say, because that's your MO. True. Absolutely true. Is it a movie about stopping bank robbers and skydiving? Because I'm in, guys. Do you want to talk about that? Because I will totally talk about that, guys. Also, I think that's fun when watching that movie to just open up some surf wax so you can just smell it and feel like you're there. Oh my god, with the surf wax, Ted. Every time. Nobody cares about surf wax. I don't. Leash. So, the other day, I have no concept of time anymore. Oh, I'm sorry. Laser Sharks is just like, what? Like, how does eating too much ice cream make your throat hurt? That makes it better. But now I see what you were saying. And yes, there is nothing else you can do. I mean, the only thing I could say is freezies or popsicles. But if you're tolerant of the dairy, then yeah, ice cream. Ice cream is the answer. So, yeah, the other day in my building, like I said, oh my god, just been on you this whole time? When you're just moving your mouth for no reason whatsoever? Yeah, sometimes I just stand here and I just move my mouth for no reason whatsoever. And sometimes I just stand here and I don't move anything. But I'm still talking, and that's fine. It's like a Skype call. Remember with Skype? You talk to somebody and then they freeze for like 20 minutes, but you still keep talking? Yeah, super annoying. So, uh, maybe I ate too much ice cream. Maybe it's just Maybelline. But either way, I gotta get to the hospital and get my stomach pumped. 'Cause Maybelline's not made with dairy. It's made with saline. No, yeah, that's still edible. Yeah, without leaving the building, I could hear some noise. Just a bunch of ruckus in the hallway. I'm like, all right, whatever. Don't care. Kind of sounds like somebody's probably moving in. And then I left and came back and saw a moving truck. Like, all right, somebody's moving in to that apartment that burned down. They redid it. As I was coming in one day, the super or whatever he is, the handyman that was doing a lot of the work on that apartment, was outside, like waiting for his drive home or something. And I was like, hopefully you're just like ending the day and not on your way to another building to do something else. And he was like, oh. I was like, oh, it never ends for you. Like, that's rough. And he just started telling me the stuff that they did to that apartment. Like, oh, we put a new vanity in, we repainted, we did this, we did that. Like, yeah, that's all the stuff that needs to be done to my apartment. You know, I didn't say that. I said, all right, cool. Oh, that sounds awesome. I'm gonna go upstairs and set my apartment on fire right now then. And he was like, oh, like that won't work because you know we only update and fix apartments when somebody leaves, you know, and then we charge more. Like, all right then. So if this apartment does get better, I will do it myself, and I am not telling anybody. So that apartment's fixed and done and across the hall and down slightly, and people were moving in. And I walked by, and there was a good handful of people, and I was like, "Welcome to the building," and just kept right on walking. But they left their door open like all day. What even when they were done moving, and just like, what's going on? Like, why is their door still open? Why are they still yelling to each other? You know, down in the parking lot or whatever. Like, it's the future. If somebody's not within earshot, like just text them or call them, or wait for them to walk back up the stairs and tell them what you need to tell them. You're in a building now with more than 12 people, and none of them want to hear your business, especially not yelled through the building. So just don't do that. You know, simple respect for other people and places. You know, again, I don't know. They seemed like nice enough people. You are moving. You're busy, and I can see. I want to get some information down there from up here real quick. So I'm just gonna yell it, and that's fine. It doesn't matter that I might be trying to take a nap or relax or just watch some TV at a nice low volume, and I don't want to have to crank it to overpower other people yelling for whatever reason. Anyway, still fine. That didn't last too long. Didn't ruin my day or anything. But what is, I don't know, perturbing to me is the word perturbing. I don't think that's a word. What makes me perturbed, disturbed, confused, and sad is as I walked by and the doors were open so I could just see everything. They were clearly setting up a bed in the living room. Now, it's a one-bedroom apartment. It's a pretty small apartment. there's like no closets in there, like maybe one. My apartment is a bit bigger than that one. I've got this space here, which isn't recommended to be used as a bedroom, but somebody could technically use this room as a bedroom, if really really you had to. Like, for the most part, if it was a bunch of students living here, then yeah, every part of this apartment would be a bedroom. But I've got like a storage closet. I've got an actual closet in my bedroom. Um, but I still don't personally think there's really enough room in this apartment for more than one person. And I think that maybe a whole family moved into this one bedroom apartment, and that's just no good. Like, again, just from my perspective of just anxiety and feeling overwhelmed by humans anyway, that I just couldn't imagine. Oh, cool. Like, so we just don't have a living room space. Like, this is your bedroom, and then we live in this bedroom, and then there's a kitchen, and then that's it. And then we all share a bathroom somehow. And, I don't know, I assume murder each other, and hopefully I don't get pulled into that murder spree, because that just sounds terrible. So, aside from it sounding like hell, that's fine. Everybody deals with whatever, lives wherever's available, and you make the best. What you don't do is move into the whole hallway as well. Like, I do know that there's not enough room in that apartment for several people's stuff, and I'm pretty sure when you come to look at a place, you can tell whether or not all of your stuff is going to fit in there. And it's been a handful of days now, and I don't know much about fire hazards. I don't know much about blocking walkways, but if you leave a bunch of stuff in a hallway in a public building, that's a fire hazard and you're blocking walkways. So outside of their doorway is like, if I put a bunch of stuff outside of my doorway, it wouldn't actually affect anybody because I'm at like the end of the hall in kind of a little cubby area that leads into my apartment, and there's just kind of a whole little space that nobody needs to come into unless they're going to my apartment or the apartment across the hall, and there's a bunch of space in between. But every time somebody moves, they use the space in front of my apartment as their storage area every time. And a few times I have been like, oh, I can barely get in and out of my apartment now. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for being considerate and acting like nobody lives here. So these guys have got like a TV stand. It's not like a TV stand. It's a TV stand right outside the door. On the TV stand is one pair of shoes on one shelf and another pair of shoes on another shelf. There's still tons of shelf space if you are going to use that as where you keep all of your shoes, which I wouldn't recommend because that shoe rack is between the top of one set of stairs and the bottom of the next set of stairs, so everybody who lives on the next floor has to like weave through your shoe rack. And there's already just barely enough room to get through there anyway. But that's not all. Why not put a bike there too? That doesn't take up all the space. That's not going to be super irritating for the lady across the hall to try and get her dog out to go pee while there's a bike and a shoe rack and something else is there as well. Or I'm just like, you picked the wrong place to live or you didn't get rid of enough stuff. So anyway, that's outside their door. Outside of my door, which doesn't actually impede my life other than now outside my door looks messy and I can't clean it up because it's not my stuff, but I would like to clean it up. I'm tempted to at least even just tidy it up in some way. Find a shelf, put it out there. If you're gonna put all of your clothes in front of my door, then I'm gonna fold them and put them on a shelf for you. I think. I'm tempted to, but that's insane. Oh, and you're totally not insane. you're ready to punch the monitor just because I'm frozen every once in a while. But no, you're not crazy. You're just the guy that flipped off a bunch of strangers because they flipped off a bunch of strangers. That's heroics. That's vigilante justice. No, I don't think it is. I think it's just craziness. Yeah, it is. So, I definitely don't keep looking in the right place. I did start working on some new Milo animation. I set some things up, started to break that apart, and I was like, I've spent too much time in front of my computer. I need a break. Maybe next week there'll be some Milo adjustments. So yeah, not in front of my door, but like within my little cubby area, on my walls, I've put up some paintings that take up no space and, make my little area look a little more, artsy and fun. I definitely have space to put out like a bench in front of my door where, you could sit and put your shoes on or something. Um, but I don't trust people because, when I first moved in here, I put artwork on the wall in the exact same place where the artwork is on the wall now. It was just cheap, like $4 worth of paintings that I got from a secondhand store. But then at around Christmas time, I assumed that somebody was like, hey, I'm heading over to Bob's house. I didn't get him anything. Here's some pictures on the wall. I'll just take these and give them to Bob. And I put a note on the wall. Hey, I hope that you at least stole those to give to somebody as a Christmas present. But if you didn't, please do me a favor and tell your mom that you're garbage. Now, I definitely wrote something harsher than you're garbage, but I don't quite remember. But it was definitely possibly something like shitty piece of garbage, or just you're a shitty jerk. Can't remember. Um, Either way, I put that note up for a few minutes, like for a day, and then felt guilty for telling like literally writing. I hope you did something good with the thing you stole, and then I'm the one feeling bad, even though I was the one that was robbed. But I do that a lot. Actually, I have another little story about that where I feel like the jerk, but I'm just like, I'm not the jerk here. He said as he draws a little cat with some birds extended. But yeah, so there's like a couple bags, I believe, of clothing outside the door. There's like another bag of more shoes, and then something else, like just a box of stuff. And it's just like, I assume you'll eventually figure out where to put this with inside your apartment, or slash eventually somebody who owns or manages this building is going to walk by, and just like the last time the neighbors filled up my little alcove with their stuff, he yelled at them, "You can't do this. You can't just like this is a giant fire hazard, and people need to get through here." The little bit of Schadenfreude spiteful joy that I do get out of them putting a bunch of stuff in the hallway is, since they put all that stuff there, it is a speed bump. And very often I can hear people thump, 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 thump up the first set of stairs, and they just get louder. And then on the next set of stairs would, kind of go semi above my apartment. It's just brum, 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 brum. And they're just stomp running all the way up for no reason whatsoever. I assume it's the same kid that lives upstairs, so he's just running upstairs so that his mom can scream swear words through my ceiling. People are garbage. But yeah, with the last few days, people seem to stop at that speed bump and then slowly go up. I assume some of them are deciding whether or not to steal some of the things that are left out, as is, my other reason, aforementioned. Why not to leave a bunch of your stuff in a hallway of an apartment building? Maybe your actual neighbors won't won't take your stuff. But there's always just random people that are just visiting and up for a good old fashioned stealing on their way in and out of a building where it's just like, hey, it's a victimless crime. It's just an apartment building. There's so many people here. They'll just blame anybody and no one will ever know. And it's an old building. There's no cameras, so just who cares? I'll take these shoes. Do I need them? No. I'm gonna throw them on a telephone wire. Like it's a scene from a movie that takes place in Brooklyn in the 70s, 80s, or 90s. So whatever. Yet another, just nonsense first world problem of, like, I don't hate to take the time to complain about neighbors, especially when it's not noisy and it's not actually in my way. Do I feel somewhat awkward and put out when I do have to walk by this bike and this shoe rack that's not a shoe rack that takes up half of the hallway? Like, yes, yes. There's a bit of annoyance that goes off. Um, but overall, I do sympathize, I empathize, and understand that nobody wants to be jammed up in a one-bedroom apartment with their whole family where all of their stuff doesn't fit. So I'm definitely not going to be the one that's like, hey, these guys put stuff out in the hall, get rid of them. It's more, hey, these guys are definitely like struggling in some way, and this is the best that they can do right now. Um, and I'm more concerned by the fact that your stuff's going to get stolen, and I think part of that is there's still a little bit of self-preservation, spidey sense going off in my head as well. That is, ugh, are you going to come to my door and blame me? Hey, my stuff was stolen. What do you have to say about it? You're the one who has a clear view of it because we put it all out in front of your door. And then I'll be like, it's not my responsibility. But, you know, that's also the crux of what anxiety is. It's imagining in a scenario that odds are probably isn't going to happen and worrying about it all the time, all the time. So the better you are at not worrying about things that haven't happened and probably aren't going to happen, the better your life is. And that's why I'm scared all the time, because I worry about things that aren't happening and try to assess the level of possibility that they might happen. Like today, I definitely forgot about, oh yeah, people driving by and yelling stuff. Wasn't worried about it. But usually when I leave and after two cars pass me, I'm like, oh yeah, eventually someone's going to yell something out their window. Because that's, I don't know if it's just a Truro thing. Seems to happen here more than anywhere else. Yeah, when I go back home, it happens there a lot too. People will just yell stuff at me when I'm in my mom's yard, putting stuff in my car, and I'm like, was that one of my relatives? Nope. Just some random person decided they needed to yell. As they drove by. But in that, uh, uh, ooh, I like that. Worry is a long shadow of a little thing. It's like in those Looney Tune cartoons when you think it's a mouse, but it's a kangaroo, but reverse. Um, yeah, no, uh, just realized, just try to like reprocess this thought in my head, without being too specific, to the person, place, or things involved. But there's this dude, this person, let's say, a they. There we go. We don't need to say dude. That like, I don't know. Let's say every 1 to 2 weeks, I'm gonna be generous. I'm gonna be generous. I'm gonna go as far as every like 2 weeks, not even every week. Let's go 2 weeks, so I don't feel as crazy. But just about every 2 weeks, they basically, you know, express to me, because people do that. You know, there are a few people in the world that are like, "Hey, Curtis, just for a moment, can I just express to you my fears and anxieties, and hopefully you could make them go away, or tell me I'm justified and I should be scared?" And I'm like, "Well, you already told me the thing, so it's too late." Most people don't say, "Can I run this by you?" first. They run it by you, and then they say, "Hey, is that cool that I did that?" And no is the answer. No, yes is always the answer. Um, but yeah, just like basically every second week, this person is literally just like, "Oh, like I'm not sure. Like, should I worry about my job? Should I worry about my job security? I think, because there's this and there's that. Like, I don't know." And every 2 weeks, I basically say the same thing of just like, "Well, they said this about you. They say that about you. It sounds like they have no intention of ever firing you for any reason whatsoever, other than the company shutting down and or burning to the ground. It sounds like you're fine. But I'll tell you what I do. Since I got this job that I have that I think is great, is even though it's a great job and I don't want it to go away, I still wake up just about every morning and I just assume there's a 50-50 chance that, yeah, I might get fired today because there's not enough work, or there's too much work and I'm not doing it fast enough, or because they don't like the things that I say on my live streams or the comics that I make, or there's a thousand reasons that I can come up with. But for once in my life, for one thing, I'm going to be like, "Yep, but it is a good job." So instead of worrying about losing it, I'm going to try and worry about not enjoying it as much as I could while I have it to enjoy. Hold on to what you got, because you don't know what you got till it's gone. And before your paradise is paved, and a parking lot is put up, enjoy the trees before people put them in a tree museum. You might have to pay $1.50 to see them, but don't it always seem to go? You don't know what you got till it's gone. Look at those trees before their parking lots. So it's like just enjoy them, because yeah, like I genuinely think there is a very good chance all the time, even though all of my evaluations, all of the interactions I have at my job are 100% positive. Like even the times when it's like, "Hey, you upset people when you say things sometimes," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, sorry. That's because I'm 90 and I don't put emoticons at the end of every sentence, so everything seems super serious, whether I'm being serious or not." So, yep, I'll try to make sure to put happy faces at the end of things so people know that I'm not angry, and it made a pretty big difference. And I just started saying a little bit less, um, because, I do also come across as an old man who's upset of all these kids on my lawn. Get off my lawn. Cultivated grass. Paid a lot of money for it. Something. Whatever old men are upset about. Um, but yeah, no. To connect to what I was saying earlier, um, you can't, like, I don't know, I've spent a lot of my time, yeah, worrying, like, oh, like what is the future of this company, like what are they talking about, am I too old and confused to be here? I don't know, I just want to draw some pictures. Do you guys need pictures? I'll draw pictures. And when you don't need that anymore, then I'll find somewhere else, somebody else that wants me to draw pictures. Something will always be figured out. You know, before I had this job, I didn't have a job. And then before that, I had a job that went away. Ooh, I am the Kurt Mudgeon. I'm going to definitely have to use that as the title of a book. The Book of Curtis. Fine Art of Kurt Mudgeoning. Did I change the line ways? No. But to connect that to the now suddenly I feel good for getting robbed, or I feel bad for getting robbed. Like you did the thing, and now why do I feel bad for trying to do what I think is the right thing? And in this case, it goes two ways. I want to say slightly mean about it, but I'm also effing tired of it. So effing tired of the thing. Ugh, I got a big old mug. I'm tired of it over here. That's what I'm saying. You don't even know what I'm talking about. I don't care. I'm tired of all of the things that you talk about. You're never talking about my new hat or my mug. I'm always talking about your mug. Sometimes your new hat. Okay, then, carry on. So, today my response was I'll paraphrase it slightly and change it, but oh my god, when are you going to get used to having a job? You're not, you're not new to having jobs. This is more stuff, but I'm just like, it's fine. Like, stop being paranoid about losing your job. You've had this job for like 3 or 4 years now. If you were going to get fired for some random dumb reason on a Tuesday afternoon, it would have already happened. Slash, as near as I can tell, they think you're great. Just continue to be great as you can. Or if you're really this nervous all the time, start looking for a different job then. Then just start looking for a different job. Get something where you do feel secure, but it seems like you're never going to feel secure. This is just anxiety. So do what I did and go to therapy. Now, I didn't say all of that. I really did just say, oh my God, are you ever going to get used to having a job? And the answer is just basically like, well, no. No, all my other jobs, you know, basically like, made me feel bad. Like, okay, yep. A lot of mine did too. A lot of mine did too. And in some cases, like, I hate this job, but what else am I going to do? I clawed and held on for dear life for as long as I could because that's what you're supposed to do. And whether I thought I wanted it or needed it or not, it was just like, this is what people do. And now I've reached that point in my life where it is like, I'm an old man. And if I do lose my job, I'll do what I did the last 17 times when I didn't have a job, and I'll get another job. And or, focus on something like this, or invent something else that I can do to pay my bills. Like, I can't guarantee it'll pay more, can't guarantee it'll pay less. I don't know anything about anything in the future. I just know that you really, really have to learn as human beings to enjoy the moment you're in. There's an Eels song that I haven't listened to in a long, long time. Most of that whole album just sounds really sad. And although I do like listening to it and I love the Eels, that sometimes their songs are just too sad and I just have to take them off the playlist. And sometimes they come back around again. But this one is something, something, something that's basically damn it, I wish I could remember That just the line, just something just along the lines of like you never know when you're in the good old days. It's not until way later on you're like, oh, remember the good old days? Like, yeah, you were a cranky curmudgeon that whole time. Like, yeah, but turns out those were the good old days. And now I wish I could go back there and hang out and do that again. It's just like, but that time is gone, or those people are dead. That place doesn't exist anymore. Things have changed. Blah blah blah. Bling 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 blah. That might have been the good old days. So even if you're having a terrible day, try to find a way to know that it's not going to last forever, and or make it fun. For example, this is not a good example. This is a good example of kind of partly what not to do and partly what to do. Um, but last week, as some of you who follow my Instagram especially, and or Twitter, and I say some of you, but Space Goonie and Laser Sharks, but a few other people did send me some messages like, hey, everything okay? Is y'all safe? Is everything cool? Is everything okay? Like, all right, yeah, no, everything's fine. I just decided to take a day or two and internet like everyone else. I always try to keep things to be fun and artsy and, within in the venue that I normally do stuff in. And everybody else is just going on with all of their anxieties and horrors and bad things and whatever. So it's just like, you know what? Today I'm gonna be one of the normal interneters, and I'm gonna just fully complain about my day because I don't know what else to do, and I want to scream at something, and I don't know what to do. But that's what the internet's for. It's the great void that you can scream your terrors into, and usually get some sort of feedback. So one of the things was that I was trying to get a plug-in to work. We talked about it last stream. So then I paid money, and I'm like, fine, I'll just buy a plug-in, and that one will work because I paid money. And then I went through about 1,000 different procedures, and it just wouldn't work. And it was just pretty much like well over 2 days of trying to get a thing to work. So I just stopped that for a while, work on making the actual artwork that I will need the plugin for eventually if I can get it to work, and then just keep bouncing back and forth and just like trying not to smash my face into my computer monitor until both of us are satisfactorily destroyed. Because I don't know, I don't know what else to do. I'm reading everything and everything until I finally read something that's just like, oh, yeah, so this part here, does it say installation successful? Like, it sure does. But what color is installation successful? Like, it doesn't matter. The word successful is there. Oh, well, if it's red and it says successful, then it didn't work. Like, well, I'm only going to see one or the other, so I have nothing to judge against. So I just had to read 17 pages of internet until I finally got to this little tidbit that I needed to find. And then within that, it's like, well, if it's not successful, why not? I'm doing everything right, and there's no reason for it to be wrong. Like, oh, well, did you dig into this weird little secret folder hidey place? Like, no, I didn't. Well, do that. Are these folders there? No. And if they're not, you got to put them there. They should just be there, though, but sometimes they're just not. So now it's your job. Oh, okay. That was just so many days of my life that I just spent in frustration with, so many answers, but only one of them hopefully will be right, and then just guessing, whilst also working on a project that is still just guessing. Still don't know if I did it right now or not. I sent it yesterday. Yeah, sent it yesterday. Worked on something else today. Still don't know if all of that effort was for any good, or will I start over again tomorrow? I don't know. So just spending a week in that mode of will anything ever work again? And then just having like trying to do a few other things of my own where I was just like, oh, now this doesn't work. I'm gonna spend another evening just reading the internet until I can figure. I was gonna draw some stuff, and now I. Oh. And then finally, so I'm starting to do some Milo stuff, and halfway through that, I was like, I don't want to end up sitting at my desk late at night trying to figure something out. I'm just gonna take a break. At one point, I started to set up some Lego that I got for my birthday that has like some ball joints and some hinges, and it's a dinosaur. I'm like, I'm gonna animate this being built and then maybe doing a little thing, and that'll be fun for me. And instead, I was like, you know what? Instead, I'm just going to lay on the couch, let Game Grumps play, and eventually wake up confused while people are playing old-timey Nintendo games and wondering why am I watching this particular episode? How did I end up here? Why is it so loud outside? And I did that instead. And it was good. But yeah, as far as trying to enjoy your job, you either do or you don't. I can enjoy my job and still be afraid that I'm going to lose it every single day. Do I really think I'm going to lose my job every day? Nope, not really. If anything, I get weird random compliments every few days. And it helps me worry a little less, but it doesn't matter. Like, I still even worry that it's like, oh, there's a chance that like Space Goonie and Pat are gonna be like, hey, by the way, we never want to talk to you again. Like, I could worry about that. Twice a day, all the time. But just like, but why? There's a very good chance it's not gonna happen, and even if there is a chance it will happen, worrying about it isn't going to not make it happen. I would just become that person that is just like, hey, Space Goonie, 3 days have passed. Do you hate me? And while you're answering that, could you poke Pat in the next room and say, hey, Pat, do you hate Curtis? He wants to know. Because that gets real annoying real fast. There are a lot of people who live in that world. I've definitely spent time in that world, in that headspace, and it's just not a good. It's not healthy. It's not a good thing to do. It's not productive to your own life. So again, you gotta, Stella's always got to get her own groove back, which is a reference to a conversation with somebody that will give away some of their story ideas for a thing. So I can't even really explain it. But 1,000 years ago, a movie came out that I didn't see, but all the commercials were there that are just, hey. You don't have to be grooveless. You can get your grooves back. The Emperor can get new grooves. You can eat, you can pray, you can love in Tuscany. Are you saying that we could all be Julia Roberts? We could all be Julia Roberts. You just have to be better than Eric Roberts. Is it really? I mean, can you really be better than Eric Roberts? No, you can't. But you can try. Everybody just try to be at an Eric Roberts level and shoot for a Julia Roberts, and you're still in Roberts level. Did anything that you just said make any sense? No, it doesn't. It's been a long day. It's been a long day and a long night. People upstairs decided to get up real early and yell and stomp. I don't know if at each other or at a dog. I'm very close to putting a note on their door that says, hey, you don't have to stomp and yell at 7 o'clock in the morning. In fact, it's encouraged for you not to do that. Or else I am going to keep a broom next to my bed and I'm going to start banging the ceiling and being that guy. But yeah. Don't let anxiety kick your rocks. Do your best to kick that anxiety To the rocks? No. Somehow that made sense in my head before I said it. But yeah. Yeah, that's today's theme, today's moral. It's 10 o'clock. That's good. I'll figure out words to go with this comic stripping sometime during the week. I'll post it on Instagram. If you're not following my Mr. Cartoons Instagram, then maybe you're one of the people that stopped following my Mr. Cartoons Instagram as I watched my numbers go down before my very eyes today. But it happens. It happens. We can't all have all the followers. That doesn't work out. Yeah, I'm going to try and get some new shirts in the store very soon. I keep opening the file, and I want to change this last one, and I just can't figure out how I want to change it. It's just so close, so close. Just need some poking around. And yeah, we'll make some new stuff. Still got a handful of book ideas and book art to put together. So more stuff. By next Christmas, we'll have some more merch to sell, / to send specifically to you four guys for Christmas presents. But yeah, other than that, I don't think, is that all? You, anything? No, I got nothing else. Except dramatic pauses. Huh? What do you think about that? Huh? I can pause so hard all the DJ say jam. If pausing was drugs, then you'd be selling my pauses by the gram, but not my pause. Because that would be like, selling shark fins or elephant tusks. It's just not cool. There's nothing you're going to get out of chopping off some cat paws and selling those. Is that what we're talking about? Not even close to what we're talking about. So, yeah, I'm gonna hopefully someday figure out how to make him not freeze like that, because I really tested it out before the stream today, and he didn't freeze. I don't know why. No, I had Flash open. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know much. But I know I've got a Milo. And that may be, oh, for the love of fun, all you need to know. La 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 la. But yeah, there's a store, there's books. I ran into a person actually in the world that was like, hey, I'm like studying dinosaurs, and I like sexy things, and I'm like, that's a weird thing to bring up, kind of, but that's a thing that I do. I make these books called Sexy Dinosaur Books. There's 2 of them, and she was just like, what are you pushing people over, punching old ladies, like, how do I, what are you talking about? Like, just go to this website or go to my Instagram, and I just told her the thing, and she's just like, I've always needed this, where do I get these? Like, go to the website and order a book, like, it's not coming up, like, I don't know why, but it should be. I'll go double check that, and I didn't, but I will eventually. Guess I can do that right now, simply by typing Mr. Cartoons. That's not how you spell it. That's too many O's. .com. Did you mean MrCutouts.com? No, I didn't. Maybe if I put it in the right window. Idiot. Right, that seems to be there. Let's click on the books. Yep, looks like it's there. Okay, so she was just not good at using websites. But yeah, there's sexy dinosaurs. There's poetry if you like the rhymes and nonsense, and comics. I mean, we're done now, and I'm gonna shut down. But before we do, I be Hawkin, which is an awesome name. Hopefully, that's how you pronounce it. I don't in that I have no idea what can I get mode means. I don't know. Can you? You tell me. You tell me. Can you get mode? Where's the mode you want to get? What mode do you want to get to? And for the most part, if you want to get mode, you can get mode. Go for it. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, no, just go for it. Everybody wants to get mode. Everybody wants to get. I don't have any rhymes for mode. Goad, showed, code. Yeah, no. Anyway, go get mode. Everybody get your mode on. Yes, mode 6, everyone. Mode 7? Is it mode 7? I keep hearing mode 7. I think that's a term for something that might already have come and gone. But everybody get mode 7. Everybody look at your pants. Because we can dance. We can dance. You can leave your friends behind. Because if your friends don't dance, they're no friends of mine. I'm all out of things to say. Meow. 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 Yep. Wrap it up, Rips. Play those sweet, sweet credits. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out once again. See you guys next Tuesday. Yeah. Gotta get mode. Level up to mode 7. Up from 5. Going for 11. Here's the modes. 3D nodes. Good night to the Sharks and the Goonies and the Prues.